Hello and welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to be explaining how to add a custom toggle to your avatar. Now this can be anything you want to be turning off or on, or be able to play an animation. An animation can also be anything. Let's say you want to be able to toggle on and off your shirt. You can toggle on and off your shirt. If you want to toggle off your shoes, pants, jewelry, let's say you want to go between hairs, anything like that. For this video, I'm going to be using a watch though. So I'm going to be able to toggle on and off a watch on my avatar. So what you want to do is, if you're importing the avatar, make sure you go to your asset, look for prefab of whatever item you want to toggle on and off, and drag and drop that into the scene. Then you want to set the positions to whatever position you want. For me, I've made it so that it's attached to my forearm. So what I'm going to be doing now is drag the item from wherever it is in the scene into my elbow. So wherever that toggle you want to be able to toggle off, if you're importing it, make sure it's attached to wherever you want the object to be following. So I attach it to my elbow because if I move my elbow, it needs to be able to attach to my elbow. If I had it hanging loose in the scene like that, and I move my elbow in game, it won't be attached to my avatar, it'll just be sitting there. So make sure you drag and drop it into wherever you want to be able to move it. Alright, now I'm going to be showing you guys how to also make sure your item is unpacked. Before I go any further, make sure it's unpacked. Now what you want to do is you want to go to your avatar, look for playable layers, and then look for your FX. I see this is a common problem. Some avatars have two FX. It's not supposed to be like that. One's supposed to be an action and one's supposed to be a FX. To fix this, what you want to do is click reset to default. But actually, before you do that, make sure you memorize where all your things are. Let's say if you have the base layer, make sure you know what base layer that is. Make sure you know what FX this is. This is my FX in my assets. Then reset your playable layers to default. Add customize again. And now you have your action. So just redrag all your actions you had. So my FX, I'm going to be dragging in there. And if you had anything else, like let's say you had Goku Loco, you would have your base, action, and sitting. And just drag those back on their respectful places. Next step is to click on your FX, open up your FX, go to animator. If you don't have that animator tab, just double click on FX. The next thing you want to do is go to your parameter, add a bool parameter, and name it whatever you like. I'm going to be calling it watch because it's going to be for my watch. But you have to remember what you call this. It's very important that you remember your parameter name. So make sure that you remember capitals as well. So I have the first capital, capitalized, and then the rest is uncapped. Then go to layers, add a new layer, call it whatever you like. I'm going to be calling it watch. Set the weight to 1. Just click on that little gear, set it to 1. And then what you want to do is go back to scene. You're going to be making your animation to be able to toggle on and off your watch. So what you want to do is go to your main avatar, go to animation. If you do not have this animation, you will be able to find it by going to Windows, animation, clicking on animation. What you want to do is go to click on your avatar, click create animation, and create a new animation, call it whatever you like. I'm going to be calling it watch. And it's very important after your end of it, make a space and say off at the end. because you're going to be making two animations, one with the watch being on and one with the watch being off. So then click the record button, making sure that you currently have your watch off selected. Record button. Go to your item you're going to be toggling on and off. Go to your inspector and just click off once and make sure your item is not on your wrist anymore. And that's going to be it for watch off. You can click the record button again and preview, and it'll go back to your original state. Then you want to make another animation, call this one the exact same but on at the end. Then make sure you have the on selected. Click the red record button. Your item you're going to be toggling off and on. Toggle it off and then back on. So make sure it's red and ticked. Then click the red record button again. You are done with watch on. Go to your avatar. Go back to your animator. But make sure you do have your FX selected. So click in your FX, double click on it. Go to your layer that you created. And then drag your animations. First the one that says off, and then the one that says on. Next, you're going to make a transition from off to on. So you want to click once on your the golden one, right click, make transition, drag and drop that. The same thing for the other side. Click, make transition, drag, drop. Next, you want to click on the transition between your off and on. I'm going to be first selecting the transition that goes from off to on. Look at my inspector. Look for settings right above my transition. You'll see exit time and transition duration. And you want to set those numbers to 0. And then untick fixed duration and has exit time. You want to do that for both the transition from going from off to on, and then also from on to off. Click on the other transition, make exit time 0, 0, fixed duration has exit time. Just turn those off. You really don't need them. Otherwise, it's just going to be very stupid. And a delay when toggling on and off your avatar assets. Next, go to your transitions. Look for conditions. Here, you're going to add a new condition. Select the condition to the parameter you set in your parameter. So mine was called watch. And make sure it is set to true. Then go to the other transition that goes from on to off. Set your watch to false if it goes from on to off. So off to on, make sure it is set to whatever your parameter was to true. From on to off, it being false. Then, after you're done with that, go to your avatar. Next, look for expressions in the VRC descriptor. Just click it. If you don't have anything there, add a menu or parameter. Just click here, add your default expressions. If you do not have one for your avatar, I do have one for my avatar. So use whatever one that is meant for the avatar. If there is none meant for the avatar, then just add default. Next, go to your parameter, double click on your parameter, add a new parameter. Call this parameter the exact same parameter you set inside your FX. So mine was watch, so I'm going to be making sure exactly the same, no extra spaces. Make sure you don't put a space at the end. Make sure you don't put a space at the front. Make sure it's exactly the same. The type needs to be set to a bool. And that is it for your parameter. So make sure your spelling is 100% the exact same. If you don't do this, you might have an error that says something is not defined. So something meaning it can be anything. So if you misspelled it, just go make sure you spelled correctly. Look inside your FX, see what you called your parameter, and go to your expressions, go to parameter, and make sure you have it spelled correctly. I cannot stress this enough. A lot of people have errors because they don't spell these things correctly. Make sure they are spelled correctly. After that, go to your avatar, go back to expressions, and this time click on your menu. You can either double click it from here or click it from your expressions. Here you're going to be able to see all your toggles. My avatar has no toggles, so there's no toggles here for me. I'm going to be adding a new toggle, calling this toggle whatever you want. I'm going to be calling it watch. So I will see this in the slide bar, that little circle menu. Click the icon to whatever I want. I'm going to be calling it, I'm going to be choosing, let's say a flashlight. All right, I'm going to be setting my icon to flashlight. You don't have to set an icon, but it makes it look nicer. Put the type to toggle. Set your parameter to whatever your parameter was in the parameter. So mine is watch, so I'm going to be selecting watch. Just like that, you are done. That is it for your avatar to be toggled on and off. You can go test it out, make sure everything works. If you have an error, feel free to message me on Discord. Discord invite is in the description of the video. Go there. There's a few channels. I will be sure to help you guys. I answer any questions you guys might have. And yeah, let me know also what videos to make next on explaining what to do. And thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you guys in a next video. Goodbye.